Hey there, welcome to the back channel. Today, I want to talk about a conversation that I had with a founder friend of mine who was just coming to the end of a journey where he had raised capital for his startup, went really, really hard at it, and ultimately ended up having to close the company. This topic is more general advice for any founder going through the journey, maybe thinking about potential failures in the future or looking back on a failure that they just experienced. But it has some application to fundraising, which is why I wanted to include it in the back channel. So first of all, I'm always kind of excited to give this pep talk to founders who are just going through the end of a startup. I've been through multiple startups and had seen failures. And so I know what it feels like. I know it's really brutal. You have so much of your own personal identity tied up into the startup. So when that startup, quote unquote, fails or shuts down, it feels like a personal attack on yourself. You feel very bad about yourself. And then you start thinking about what you have in store for yourself in the future, what opportunities you might have. So what I told this particular founder was that I was really excited for him. That was his first startup, and all first-time founders are terrible. I've written an essay about this. All first-time founders are terrible. It's the ones that improve as quickly as possible that are successful. And improving sometimes means having to shut down the company that you were working on. What I told him, and I tell everyone else, is that now that you've gone through it, you actually know what it feels like. You know what you actually like and you don't like. You know what you're actually good at and what you're not good at. When you're going through the actual startup and pitching that startup and trying to raise money and actually raise money and then running it for the first time, there's so much lying that goes on to yourself and to everyone else because you're putting out a version of yourself that you've never tested before. Now that you've gone through it, you have so much experience to build upon that I'm always excited for what I call the bounce back, the next thing that they do, because now you're building atop of real experience, having seen what it's like to go through a startup. So now when you go to the next one, you're able to say, what are real problems? What does it actually mean for an audience or a customer base to experience problem? And what does it feel like to solve that problem for them? That can be so much more powerful than what a lot of first-time founders go into their startups with, which is like a lot of dreams and misunderstandings about what it means to build a startup. Like many of you, my last venture-backed startup was a SaaS business. In that company early on, we had the opportunity to sell into a large enterprise, but ran into some walls when they asked us if we were SOC 2 certified. Not only were we not certified, we also found out that it would take our small team a ton of time to get that done, and so we ended up abandoning the deal. If you haven't run into a situation like that where a potential customer or investor is asking if you're SOC 2, HIPAA, GDPR, or ISO 27001 certified, you probably will soon. But unlike me, you could use a company called Vanta to help. Vanta helps automate up to 90% of the compliance work, getting you audit ready in weeks rather than months, and eliminating up to 85% of the costs. Not only that, but Vanta can start small with you and scale up as you grow, helping you land bigger deals and earn customer trust. The best part is, Vanta is offering funded listeners $1,000 off for going to vanta.com/funded. That's VANTA.com/funded for $1,000 off your service. Check it out. Secondly, when you think about the experience of going through the ups and downs, that experience itself can be so valuable to a venture capitalist to hear. They want to know that you understand what it's like to go through the grind of a startup and knowing what failure looks like so that you can avoid it. My final thoughts to this particular founder as he was trying to wrestle with what to do next was, again, that I was just so glad that he went through this experience because all the things that I told him that he learned are just things that you don't learn while working at a big company, while standing on the sidelines, while thinking about what it means to do a startup, what it means to found a company, what it means to build a team. Those things you just can't understand it until you're in the thick of the battle. Reading every single book, every tweet from every thought boy expert or whatever is not going to get you there. Actually, having done it is going to get you there. And now that he's done it, he's there. He's no longer a first-time founder. He has real opportunities ahead of him. So I said, focus on the things that excite you, the things that you can't stop thinking about. And everything else will take care of itself. So I hope this is helpful for you. If you're going through something like this, if you think you're about to have to shut down a company, or if you have friends that are going through the same thing, please share this with them. I'm excited for you and whatever they have to go through in the next phase of this journey. All right, that's this episode of the Back Channel. I'll see you guys next time.